I had Randy Hedberg on, and if you're not familiar with Randy,
Mitch Hedberg's brother.
he's the quarterback coach at NDSU. What
Oh,
did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Mitch
What did you say?
Hedberg's brother. It was Mitch Hedberg's brother. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, he's the quarterback coach at NDSU. So this is the guy that's responsible for Carson Wentz, Easton Stick, Trey Lance, and spent a good 20-25 minutes or so with him. Phenomenal guy, by the way. But I took a lot away from that interview, and a lot of it are things that I think we already knew and we've talked about, obviously, in talking to Coach McAvoy, who's Lance's personal QB coach as well. We learned a lot of these things, but hearing it from Hedberg, I think held a lot more weight. It really did. And so the three biggest takeaways that I took away from that interview is one, first of all, he talked about how at NDSU it is a full read offense, full field read offense, which means Trey Lance is expected to go through progressions. They don't cut the field in half, give them high low reads. They expect their quarterbacks can command a huddle, look their 10 players in the eye, spit out a play, come to the line, identify blitzes, audibles, and then also when they drop back, they've got to go through progressions left to right or right to left, not, hey, we're going to roll out and we're going to do high low reads, which again, these are things that are very important to know and remember why Trey Lance was the choice, because these are things that are expected of NFL quarterbacks. And a lot of quarterbacks, it was funny because he kind of laughed at the notion that other teams don't huddle. He's like, yeah, I can count maybe 10 teams max in college football that huddle. He's like, most guys want to go fast and they look over the sideline at a cardboard whatever. He goes, I don't even know what that means, but I can tell you that we get our quarterbacks ready to play in the NFL. Basically, it was kind of funny. He wasn't trying to be snide about it, but he kind of was. He talked about how Trey is a football junkie, and not only does he watch film and would watch film easily 4 hours a day plus, but a lot of players will watch film. The difference with Trey is that he knew what he was watching even at 18 years old. And he's like, normally you have to teach that. We didn't have to teach that at all. Trey Lance with Easton Stick, he knew how to watch film basically. And so when he's watching for 4 hours, it's a true learning session versus you're watching, but you don't really know what you're watching. So you're not learning anything, which I think is huge because you hear these stories and Brett Favre talks about it. Like he didn't even know what a nickel defense was until his second year in the NFL. This is a Hall of Fame quarterback. So if Trey Lance at 18 years old is already dissecting film and knows what he's watching, that's extremely important. And then the last thing that I thought was really cool and should put the 49ers fans' minds at ease once and for all is the Sunday before the draft, he talked to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan had called him and they talked for he said around 15-20 minutes, but he said twice throughout the interview that he really got the feeling that Trey Lance was the guy. He's like, Shanahan obviously didn't tell me that, but to me, it was very clear in talking with him that Trey Lance was going to be the pick on Thursday night. He felt very confident about that come Sunday. So I thought that was actually pretty cool to hear. And I think it kind of lays some things to rest because, was it Mac Jones? Was it Trey Lance? Was Fields really ever in there? At least the Sunday before the draft, he believes that Shanahan was sold on Trey Lance being the guy. So I thought those were some cool things.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a reason that Trey Lance went so high in the draft at such a young age, with so little experience. I mean, what does that tell you about his raw ability? And not just physically, just like
mentally.
The entire package. Clearly, it's off the charts. And in retrospect, like he probably should have went number 2. Looking at Zach Wilson over there and on the Jets, he doesn't look that special at all. He looks kind of like Johnny Manziel. Like Trey Lance looks like a real top 1% NFL player, athlete. You can really see it. Anyway, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he rushed for what 1,000 yards in college. Yes, he is. He is a top level athlete. But anyways, the interview was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think we did it on Monday, if I remember correctly. If you haven't checked it out, you can go over to Last Second Sports. It's pinned at the top, and take a listen. I think you'll get some good things out of it for sure.